Okay. I'm not sure if this is working yet because, yep. Oh, looks like I'm live. Okay. I still don't see anything on the stream, but that's just YouTube. Okay. I should be working now. So hello and welcome to day 5 of the plugin jam. So we've had our first submission, I guess, sometime this morning. And so I guess go check it out. It's an AI plugin that lets you customize behavior and then like supply like different levels of like what its reaction should be, and then the plugin will then assign like what behavior that AI particular that that entity selected for its behavior. So you can be like the distance to the player might give the chase command a score, and then if it's not chasing, it might be idling, or it might be wandering, or it might be looking for food, water, that kind of thing. Like you can sort of feed in the reaction and score, and it'll pick which one it does. But that's not really the focus of today's live stream. Today we're going to be working back on my plugin. This is not the right one. And we're going to be adding clicking and dragging to the camera is the plan. So the idea being that when you click and drag the screen, hopefully the camera will move like a corresponding amount. I should probably work on fixing the like the way the rotation currently works, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the way it works at the moment is that yep, we're gonna move the camera up. Move the camera up enough so I can see the ground. Like we're rotating the actual camera when in reality we want to rotate around that point. But I'm trying to think how are we doing it? We were projecting and then moving by zoom and then moving the camera to that location. But how do we get the camera to orbit a point? So at the moment, we have the camera's current position. And look at how much the camera's moved. And we change the offset by the moved amount. And the offset is basically like the origin of where the camera is. So I guess what we need to do I'm not quite sure. So we have this start. No, so it starts at 0. And then we rotate the camera and rotate the camera. The one thing is that the pitch and rotation is backwards because we move it forward that way. I never also rotate. I never update the camera starting rotation, do I? That's interesting. Oh no, we do, because we set position equal to start. So we calculate its forward direction, which we can probably stop debugging this stuff now. So we work at its forward direction and then and like offset it by the zoom and then offset it by the offset, which is really confusing because if we take its forward and move it forward and then move its offset, this seems like it shouldn't particularly work because it should be facing the other direction. So as we turn, it spins in place, which is I think why I'm confused about how the fact that it works. Because we shouldn't really be spinning in place. Like what we need to do is move backwards because we want the player to use their pitch and yaw and then move backwards from that location. And so because if they move backwards from that location and then they're looking at the location that they started at. I mean, that's kind of the idea, isn't it? We want to work out the offset, the center, the original location. Right, and then we want to say rotate this, and then see we're moving forward by a zoom. That's what I'm not getting. Like, how is? Oh, it's probably because that's why it's pointing in the ground like that. So we actually want to move backwards. This should mean that we stop ending up in the ground. But still not going to fix the problem of like we're still twisting the camera rather than orbiting around a position. I'm trying to think. So yeah, this stops us from teleporting under the ground like we were, because that was obviously we were orbiting around something, that's for sure. See, like we are in fact spinning around a point. It's just not the center of the view. Maybe it is the center of the view. Like if we zoom right in. No, it's something like here-ish that we're orbiting around, which is like I guess directly below the player. That's interesting. So it's outside the player now, because look, if I keep moving, it's somewhere here-ish at the moment. It's not the middle of the screen, is it? No. I'm not sure why. Oh, I'm not sure what it's orbiting around. Because, I mean, it kind of makes sense. So we're stepping backwards, and we're zooming and offsetting. So we want to set you back by zoom. Add the offset. Like that it's not constantly teleporting means that we're at least doing something right. Like it's not like accruing, because what I was going to then do is say like start dot look. Let's look at. Yeah, look at, which then doesn't take away, like it mutates in place. So we want to say like look at, and then we're going to say target is zoom dot offset. Hopefully look at will result. Like it doesn't look any different, the problem. I guess because it's already looking at that point. Because we've just moved out by zoom, which means look, the offset should in theory be directly in front. The issue is I kind of need to I don't get it. Because obviously the easiest way is just to like put the camera as a child. And then we just zoom it around the origin point. That's what the offset's supposed to resemble. I don't. Kind of need like a cube to be the offset. Let's just say like query with so we're going to say struct debug cube. We'll derive component for this. Component. Okay. So with our debug cube, and then we're going to go here. I'm going to say for cube in debug. And we're going to say cube dot translation equals zoom dot offset. Oh, you know, you middle. Okay. Need a comma there. Okay. So then, if we can just say add like a system for spawning the debug cube in. Spawn underscore debug cube. So it's just going to take in commands. Commands dot spawn. Right, we need the meshes asset as well. Which is going to be a resmute assets mesh. Like so, and I'm going to spawn a bundle with a mesh, which is going to be meshes.add shape box new box cube. It's cube, not a cube. The size of 1, and then we're going to go dot default, and it's also going to be given the debug cube component. Oh, apparently cubes be deprecated. Please use cuboid. There's no cuboid. Cuboid. We'll just use a circle. No, what's it want us to use? Please use circle. Okay. Okay. Bevy math circle. What do you want us to use? Prelude. Yeah. All right. Then we have to add that system. So dot add systems. So this is gonna be a startup system, and it's gonna be like spawn debug cube. It's not a cube anymore, but that's just as fun. So run. And go, well, it crashed. Why did it crash? What crashed about it? Panic system. Assert component access compatibility. Oh, I probably got two. Yeah, I'm accessing the same component twice. So without, with that, without a pitch. That should fix that. I'm not sure if it will because I'm not sure if it's going to say like you need a with and a without, but just without, like it's impossible for them to collide. Okay, so is this the point we are orbiting around? No, because this point is moving with us. We should be orbiting around that point. So I feel like I'm doing something in the wrong order. I'll show what's happening here. Why? What if we said that instead of this being where we add the offset, what if we said that like the start position is zoom.offset? Zoom dot. So instead of rotating around 0, 0 and then moving, we rotate around that offset and then move. Well, it somehow made us further out, but it didn't really change anything. What am I doing wrong? So from transform, and then we rotate, and then we move back. Yeah, and back's just a direction. Like back isn't relative to where we are. So we move back. Right. Now saying look at, maybe comment this out because this obviously isn't having an impact, except it may be fixing something that is really obvious. Like if it's correcting an issue that I'm making. So let's see if this works. Okay, so that's the issue. So we're still pivoting around this starting point. If they rotate around, like can I say like start dot? But okay, so let's say So we start rotation, and then we say start dot rotate around. Offset would be zoom dot offset. So origin. The origin is going to be equal to this. And then we say we need to rotate the origin. No, we need to it's really confusing me because I'm trying to think how to get it the right distance away and then rotating around. Because, like, that's the origin. So then we say that start would be our forward. That's a direction. So it'd be like zoom dot offset plus forward times by zoom dot zoom, and then start dot rotate around. I have no idea what I'm doing. No, it's not forward, it's not forward, it's back. Back. Okay, so we say the origin is the offset, and then we go forward a little bit, and then we rotate around, and then we rotate, and then we say start dot look at origin. Well, I guess it's zoom dot offset. I still don't know what I'm doing. So we look at zoom dot offset with vec3. Y is up. No, look at, not looking at, look at. So then we're going to set the cube to the offset, and then we're going to, okay. Path is going to be set to start dot translation, and then position set to start. So now what we're doing is we're getting the origin, going backwards the zoom amount, which I'm pretty sure is just going to be negative z, so we could probably just say d or z minus that, but anyway, not super important right now. Then we rotate around the origin by our yaw and pitch, right? Because that's what we're doing, rotating around our offset. So we could probably just start at an offset of the zoom, and then we say start dot look at. Like, so basically we move forward so many units, rotate around the origin point, and then point the camera to look at the origin point. Funnily enough, it hasn't actually done anything, which is more impressive considering I've completely changed how I'm calculating it and I still got the same result. So what if we said vec3 z times zoom? Now we don't use origin at all, so we can just say start is this, rotate is this, and then we rotate around and we look at it. This is very bizarre. Well, one thing is, if we set the origin to the ground, maybe that's what the problem is that we're rotating around a point that's not on the ground. Oh. So basically we need to keep going up until that dot is at 0. It's not you. Okay, so if we said derive reflect, so you'll now reflect, and then we got to come in, we go into this plugin, and we go like So I'm registering the camera zoom as a type, and that should hopefully, if I remember correctly, I'll let the editor use it now. I don't think I needed to do anything else fancy. Camera zoom. Yeah, see, the editor can add it. So if we set this to 0. Oh. Oh. Ah, offset to 0. Okay. So that puts that on the ground. And then right, so it's just purely the fact that we were flying in the air that was causing the problem. It was working the whole time. So I just really am just stupid. Oh, all right. So I guess we'll start implementing the camera controls now. Okay. Because it's only really like the pitch and the yaw that we need. Yep, okay. Okay, so I guess technically, just for the completeness of it, we should probably go into the camera zoom here and say hub min pitch hub max pitch and then hub pitch left I don't know, pitch up, key code pitch down, key code pitch speed, which is going to be an F32. Okay. Could make these options. Not for now. Okay, so add pitch, add your camera. So I guess we just copy your camera. Well, it's going to say pitch camera. Pitch camera. I think it's camera pitch, isn't it? Yeah, camera pitch. And then we say, we can keep calling it your, but we'll just F2 it. Pitch orbit if input pressed. Pitch up. Pitch down. Pitch speed. Pitch speed. Alright, so we'll just map it to ZNX for testing. So let's say max pitch is going to be 3.1 1415 divided by 2 times by 0.9, which should be, if you imagine, I mean, it's probably easier to say like 80 degrees dot 80 dot 2 radians. There we go. 80 degrees to radians. Min pitch is going to be 0. Not 0, maybe 10.2 radians. Pitch up, we're going to say is going to be key Z, and then pitch down is going to be key X, and then pitch speed is going to be, what was that, your speed 1, okay. Okay, I don't think I need the brackets now because I've done that. Okay. So if we run that, it should let us pitch up and down and left and right. Okay. Well, except the fact it's not really working. Did I not like make it do the right thing? Oh, we haven't added the pitch cameras. So zoom camera, your pitch camera. Okay, now that they have all of that. Okay, so what's next? What's next? Have all of that. Just checking to make sure I actually have been having my audio playing. It would be really dumb if I've been doing this whole stream in silence. Okay, so first off, we can pass all the way through, which is somewhat hilarious, but so if we go back in here and we go, where was it? It was under zoom. We say offset 0. All right. So if we do this, we get to orbit around, and we do this. All right. So now we just need to make sure that we can set the minimum and the maximum. Like they need to be clamped. Zoom. Let's add zoom. Zoom camera. It's not zoom, it's pitch camera. Pitch camera. Do I not clamp your? Okay. Right. Then we need to say pitch dot 0 equals pitch dot 0 dot clamp config dot min pitch config dot max pitch. Okay, and this is probably going to result in the camera being flipped upside down, just because it's like you need like a negative value. So I think we're permanently flipping the player upside down, which is hilarious. But what'll happen is if I set this to 0, it should put us back at the surface at least. Yeah. So you can pitch permanently underneath. So what I'll do is I'll just flip the, like when we position the camera, I have it set here. I'm going to say just do negative pitch. And that should then flip the player back up on top of the ground. Because I remember when I set the original pitch, I set it to like negative, which, yeah, caused issues. Okay. So I'm setting the camera up in the air, like it's not my code having an issue. It gets in here, we spawn the camera. Yeah, we actually spawn the player. So if we stop spawning the player offset, we just spawn the camera bundle. And that should fix the fact that we keep spawning in the air. We want to make sure that like we're not overriding like where the player gets placed with the burst camera move, and therefore making it like impossible to place the camera correctly. I'm trying to make a I'll say like RuneScape style camera, so like panning and orbiting. So with Q and E you can spin around, and then I've got this set so you can go up and down, and that's basically it I've got at the moment. You know, you can move with the arrow keys. It's all configurable. I'm making a plugin so that other people can make a game. Is the bigger, broader picture. And then over this weekend, I'm doing like a game jam where people have to use the plugins that everyone's made over the last week to make a game. So far, we've had someone submitting an AI plugin, and I'm making a camera plugin. So hopefully, it'll be like a very broad, open topic for people to make games for in the game jam. The next thing I'm going to add is camera controls. So when you click and drag, it'll also reposition the camera the same as the keys. And then I'm going to make it follow the terrain so that the camera, how it's behind the player here, I kind of want it to always be above the terrain, but I may not get around to that because it like I've literally got like less than 24 hours to go, and I've still got to go to work tomorrow, so I might just stick with getting like just the general camera working, so that if people want to make my game or use my plugin in their game, they'll have at least a working camera. So onto the mouse controls. So we're going to have a hub. move, which is going to be Boolean. So this is basically just going to enable or disable mouse movement, and then we're going to say like, well, actually maybe we should make it an option bool, and the option bool is going to be if it's some mouse movements enabled, the Boolean that is then going to represent invert y. So like some is enabled. Enabled. The bool is y. Invert y. Just because rather than having two variables, just trying to make it slightly more compact for no real reason. All right, so to make it all work, we're going to need a function that consumes mouse events and then translates that into the pitch into yours. So we're going to say mouse move, and we're going to need a mute mouse event, which is going to be an event reader. Whoop. Mouse motion. We are then going to need cameras, which we're going to need the pitch. But we're also going to need the yaw. Camera yaw. We have the mouse movement, the camera yaw. So we're going to say first thing is going to be to let the delta equal vec2 0. So rather than collect each event multiple times, we'll just iterate through the events once. So we're going to say for move. Yep. And in mouse movement dot read, and then we say delta plus equals movement dot delta. So that should sum up all the mouse movements for a singular frame. This event reader is not seen yet. This update. Okay. And then we're going to go through every camera. So for hit your and config in cameras. Maybe we'll give you option, and we'll make this a keycode boolean. And so bool is what invert y and keycode. No, well, it's not a keycode, a mouse button. Is button active button. Sum is enabled. Bool is invert y. Okay, active button. So we can put it here. So we're gonna go First up, we need mouse events as well. Not mouse events. So input, and this is going to be a res input button input mouse button. Okay, so first thing we check is if input dot config dot let some invert and then action. I don't know. It's always having fun naming things. Let's okay equals config dot mouse move else continue. So we need to double wrap that. Okay. So it's the other way. It's active invert. So this, because it's new to Rust, is I'm unwrapping some by basically looking at this value, and if it's none, I run the else statement, and it continues the loop, and therefore skips this camera if mouse movement's not enabled for this camera. Otherwise, it will expand active and invert so that I can use them in the rest of my function. Then we go if pressed active, so basically if they're pressing whatever key the user of the plugin has said is the key that activates the mouse, we are going to, I guess, if not press active, we are going to continue. So what are these called? They're called something clauses, like escape clauses or capture clauses, something like that. So the idea being that instead of putting everything inside an if statement, I instead have the inverted case in which we return early if the condition is not met, as opposed to running the condition inside the block, we return early if not the condition. If that makes sense. So then we're going to go yeah, guard clauses, that's the one. So you know more than I do at this point. I'm so goddamn tired. I don't know why I'm streaming. Yeah, so I'm just putting general guard clauses. So if it's not enabled, guard clause out. If they're not actively pressing the button right now, guard clause out. Otherwise, we're going to say pitch is going to pitch.0 plus equals no, so if invert I guess it's pitch plus equals, I'm just hoping the compiler takes care of this god-awful mess. Pitch.0 plus equals if invert, we're going to add delta dot y. We're going to add negative delta dot y. Else, we're going to delta dot y. Don't invert it. Okay. So we didn't grab them as mutable. Okay. Yep. And then we're going to say your dot 0 plus equals delta dot x. Then we add mouse move to our list of systems, mouse move, like so. And then we just need to come down here. We need to say mouse move is some, mouse button is back, front, left. There's a back, front button. All right. Let's say right, and we're going to say 5. This needs to be a tuple. That's right. There we go. Anyway, say run. We might go a bit cheeky with this and just make it an enum and call it like enabled. Oh, oh, oh. Might need to add a sensitivity. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, just for the sake of the lols, we're gonna go enum. So I'm still like, somewhat trying to make this educational for people that may not know things about Rust. Is so we're gonna make our own sum type as opposed to using the default one that only takes one generic. Instead, we're gonna say mouse control like that, and we're gonna say disable. I don't think that's spelt wrong. Let's just Google that. Disable. Fix that. Oh, apparently I spelled it right. Still looks wrong. Anyway, and then we're gonna say enabled. Enabled. Right, but then in enabled we're gonna go doop, and we're gonna go invert y, which is a boolean. What else do we have? We have active key, which is going to be a key code, an option key code, option key code. I'm going to say active button, which is also going to be an option key code. Not key code, mouse button. Mouse button. I'll reopen the stream so I don't miss anything in chat. Invert y, active key, active button, and then send activity, which is going to be an F32. Okay, sensitivity, F32. So then we come back up here. We're going to go mouse move, and we're going to change this to mouse control. This is public, hub enum, mouse control. And then we say here, instead of sum, we say mouse control. And then we go something like, very short, we can be like, is y invert active key, active button, sensitivity. Does this work? It should work. Expected struct variant. Oh, right. Enabled. There we go. Okay. So if invert y. So we're going to go so we need to get the keyboard presses as well. So input. We're going to keyboard and we're going to say input button, mouse button, key code. All right. So if let, okay, so false. If let some mouse equals active button, then we say run equals input dot press mouse. Then we say if let some key equals active key, run equals input keyboard dot, I guess it's, is it or equals pressed key, and then we say if not run continue. There you go. So a little bit clunky because I really can't think how to do it any better. All right, see ya. Thanks for joining in for your lunch break. So what I'm doing here is basically setting up a variable run. We're going, if a mouse button is set and it's pressed, run as true. Otherwise, we leave run as false. And then we say, if a key press is set and that key is pressed, we set run to true if it's not true, or we leave it as true, like it's ORed. So we don't change it if it's already activated by the mouse button. And then if it's not running, we return early. Otherwise, we do the same thing we did there, where we say pitch plus equals invert times sensitivity, and then times sensitivity. For optimization, I'm pretty sure the fastest one, no. I was going to say we could multiply delta by sensitivity, but because each camera could technically have its own sensitivity, that would mess up delta. So for all subsequent cameras to run. All right, so then we want this to change to mouse enabled Y invert is false, active key is none, active button is some, mouse button right click, and sensitivity is 0.01. I get 100 times less sensitive than it was. And then we'll run this. And there we go. I feel like this is backward. No. All right, I clicked on this piece of ground. No, it's right. We can zoom right out. Hey, it worked. It's very disorienting to move and spin at the same time, but what do you know? So, I mean, it works. I mean, the only thing I really want to add after this would be to like change height based on the ground, but then I kind of need to make the ground part of like, originally it's gonna have it raycast, so like basically like if you go down and like there's a hill behind you, you won't be able to get below the ground. But really at that point, you could just make the camera its own object, separate to the dot, make the dot follow the ground, make the camera. Well, because at the moment, like I've got a way of detecting when the camera would hit the ground, because technically the camera's here and then I'm moving it every frame back into where its position is. well, technically it's the camera's where it is, but like this dot is the offset that the camera thinks is doing its math from. But that would make it very confusing to try and do collision detection on where the camera will be, because I'd need to project it to here, check if it collides, and then correct the offset. So, because otherwise, like if I made its direct collision move according to the hitting the ground, it would then, the pink ball would move because technically that's the offset, and moving the camera will move the offset. That's how I make it so that the player doesn't have to interact with my camera plugin to move the players, because I check how much this pink dot's moved since the last frame, and therefore can update how much the camera should move in turn. To be honest, I think I'm going to call that the camera plugin. Because by the time I finish work tomorrow, I'm only going to have like 2 hours to work on it. And I don't think I'm going to get any other like meaningful functionality added. So at this point, like it's a functional camera that you can add the player controller to, because I guess technically like all like left, right, up, down should technically not be part of my plugin, because it's about moving the camera. Like without, like I need to add like a fly up, fly down setting or something to truly utilize this. Otherwise, you should probably be implementing your own movement. I don't know if there's a dead control. I guess technically, as long as you assign these to be the same, no, because I if else them. Maybe that's a reason to change that. Move camera. So I should probably just if statement all of these. Because if I if statement all of them, then the way to disable the movement controls for my specific camera plugin, if you're going to use your own, would be just to set these to the same key, because they're not else, which means that having them both set would cancel out. So we need to do some documentation, and that's basically the plugin done. Then I might just make a terrain generator, I don't know. So this whole main file should somehow become an example. So I need to look at how to make an example in Rust. I think it's something like you go into your TOML. Yeah. And you say, it's not package, is it? Okay. I changed the name to called Phox Orbit Cam. So we just need to come here and just tweak this to Orbit Cam. Same here is Phox. Cam. Okay. You can come down here and go like example. Nope. Rust. Add an example to your Rust library. You do something like new folder. I'm going to rename you to basic orbit camera. So we should also probably do something like dev dependencies and move. I think rand and Bevy reappear. I don't think I even use index map, but Same with the editors, actually. And noise. Literally, the plugin only uses Bevy. Everything else is a dependency. I'm just looking up how to make a thingamabob. Like something you gotta add to your toml, but I don't remember what it is. I open up Discord and go here, and go here. Well, no, that's not working. We're gonna just go look at the person who submitted. They have an example, as I'm just gonna look at their toml and see what they did to include the example. Package dependency, dev dependency. I don't get it. So that's it. You don't have to do anything. Do I just get? Can I just run this then? Yeah. Okay. Well, except the fact that I've got a broken toml. Huh. Oh, I guess it's that easy. I had literally no idea. Okay. We should probably get rid of that bit of code that's spitting out debug lines. That doesn't need to be there. Okay. So we should probably also, like, well, for one thing, post it to GitHub. Add existing repository. Apparently that's not a folder. Why is that not a folder? I'm slightly confused. Reveal in Explorer. View. I'm not quite sure. Can I like get? Yeah. Why won't you? No, I want to. That was very confusing. Okay. So this is going to be like working. Commit to master. We're going to go. Oops, caps lock. Okay. Okay. Oh, I kept the code private. That's not what you're supposed to do when you're doing a plugin jam. Supposed to be other people allowed to use it. Anyway. Right. So we'll document all our code like this first. Camera config. Maybe I should put this above that. Okay. Add disk to and cam. Move the player forward. Move back. Player left. Move player right. You're the camera left. You're the camera right. Minimum can be pitched down. How close to the ground you can get. 0. Flat 2. Max. The camera can up. How pi by 2. Be straight down. Pitch up. The key is to change pitch up. The key is to the pitch down. I do love that I have 3 people watching me write documentation where I like writing the most. It's like boring, bland, like can't you tell from the variable name documentation. The speed with the speed it can change the speed that player moves at. The speed that your change. The minimum zoom to the max zoom so I say 0 B yeah, all right, see you. I'm gonna so 0 would be on the pivot. Uh, 0 would be on. Okay. Okay. So mouse movement. Configuration for is to move the camera. Okay. This set disables mouse. Disables mouse control. Enables mouse control. Invert keyboard key mouse set none to disable. Disable. Okay. What? Mouse key set none to disable. How much? How fast the mouse? The camera moves relative to the mouse. Okay. Anything else public that's not documented? Yes. The oh my god. So tired. Okay. Then add orbit camera as a component to your no, okay. New file, it's MD. Not hash. Phox. Phox. Orbit camera. The Phox game jam. Functionality is fairly simple, but may be expanded in the future. Okay. So I think I can do. I think it's something like that, and then I can link to plugin jam. I think this is how you do it. So you got that, and then we game jam will be the same, where we go doot 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 doot. Oops. Except it's game jam. The functionality is fairly simple, may be expanded in the future. Yeah. Cargo. How's it go? It would be you go Phox orbit cam equals get. We'll fix that later. I think it's like that. Okay. Maybe I've done this wrong. Maybe it's like this. Hey, I think that's how you do it. The fact that the text turned orange makes me think this is how you do it. Okay. Then add the plugin to app. Ba, 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 ba. And finally, add a component. And finally, I don't think that's how you do it. Finally, it all looks wrong. Okay, and finally, add the orbit cam. That's the component to your entity. No, you can configure each um ba 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 ba. Uh, this jam, this plugin. Oh, live streamed. Yes, even this bit right here. Yes. Loading. Oh, version is as boring as you should. Definitely. Oh, watch. Me right. This bit. This bit. Wikipedias. You can watch the live stream. Oh, 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 oh. I don't know. Let's switch accounts. We do the studio. I think I probably should have made a playlist. Can I just create it? How do I live? To this come down here. First of you should be in list. New playlist. And be all like description. Again for okay, done. Save. Okay. Then we're gonna go here. Here. I'm gonna add like the second live stream to the plugin. And then like in theory I can go here and I can the third plugin to the plugin jam. But and then somehow I'm gonna like loop back around and go to playlist and I'm gonna then like get a shareable link here. Boop. It's thing. Was live stream? Yes, even this bit right here. Yeah. Me writing documentation is as boring as you think. It is. You should definitely watch. Let's just go with a quick spell checking. Definitely. Documentation is as boring. That's not how you spell writing. You see, I know the word is spelled wrong. I just can't spell it right. Yes, me writing documentation is as boring as you think it is. You should definitely watch me writing this bit specifically. How do you? Okay. I am gonna call that good enough. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go. Wait, why did you become? That's not. No. How did I rename it? Ah, rename. That is very confusing. How did I end up renaming it? I must have Control Z while in the like side panel bit. Okay. All right. Push that up there. Come over to here. No, we go here. We go to GitHub. I still can't believe there's 3 people that have been watching me like documentation for the last like hour. Oh, God. I mean, I don't think I've been writing documentation for a while. Anyway, my repositories. You see, I do things that I don't want to accidentally reveal stuff. on my other monitor, because then I don't have to worry about like accidentally opening something. Okay, so it is curly braces because I just opened it in my other monitor and I can see that it needs to be, well, not curly brace, parentheses. So it's square brace around the text, parentheses around the link. So then we can just say, yep, update a readme commit, push, and I'm gonna refresh. Okay. We have to go to settings, and then we go change visibility, change to public. Yes, make this put. Oh, yes, I understand. Make this repository public. Yes, thank you. I want to keep working on stuff. Like I wanted to just fuck around and build like a like in here, just build like a map generator, like my map thing here, and just build an infinite map, infinite world generator. But I'm so goddamn tired that I am gonna go to bed. Oh, so thank you for watching. I do appreciate when you tune into the stream. Apparently, I should announce my streams earlier, because if I just start streaming, it took half an hour before I had a consistent viewer, whereas yesterday's stream, within about 10 minutes, I had like 10 viewers that stayed for like the entire stream. So I definitely should announce my streams like much sooner. I just wasn't sure what time I was going to start streaming today, so I didn't want to have to rush home from work. But hopefully I'll stream again tomorrow, and we can look at what other plugins people have made, because again, I'm gonna be getting I finish work about 2 hours before the jam finishes. I'll be getting home, so there's not really going to be any time to work on anything for the jam, and hopefully people will put what's going to basically be part of the jam will be up before too long, and then we can go through and like rate everything, a little trial of stuff, and I don't know, I guess I'll just make random shit and because I've got a couple ideas, like, you know, an infinite terrain generator, that kind of thing, that I just want to make them just for cool stream ideas rather than in particular. I don't know if I'll actually be participating in the game jam, just because don't have like a clear idea of what I'm gonna do, but then again, maybe I will. Not sure, because it depends on how full my weekend is. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and if you can like share the stream, invite people, that kind of thing. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow sometime. I'm gonna peace out now.